Hey everybody, Tina here from Tina's Yoga Room, ready to do another yoga class. I know we're amidst some craziness in the world, so I hope you're able to take a moment to take a class or a bunch of classes in order to tune out everything that's going on around you. Stay home, stay safe, and take some yoga. Have a block for today. Per request, we're going to do some core work using a block. If you don't have a block, maybe a pretty firm pillow, something that you can place right between your inner thighs. And let's get started on your mat. All right, everybody, another little one that's joining us today is Zoe. So come start at the top of your mat. You can bring the feet to a comfortable distance. They don't have to touch, but bring the toes slightly in, heels a little bit more out so that your feet and your legs are more parallel to the side edges of your mat. Hands can place at center of your body or they can drape down by your sides, whatever's more comfortable. And I want you to just focus on taking some deep rounds of breath here. I'm going to be doing the same exact thing, so for these few moments, if you hear nothing, that's okay. If anything, try to just listen for your breath. And then with your next inhale, let's reach the arms up overhead. Gaze can rise. Pause here for an added breath. Really reach up, gaze up. And then with your next exhale, take it into an extended fold. So this can be with straighter legs if you'd like, but a ragdoll could feel really nice where you bend the knees really deeply, take a hold of opposite elbows, and release. Release with some swaying side to side, some shaking of the head, nodding it around. With your next round of breath, take one of your largest inhales of the day to fill the lungs up, hold the air at the top, and then open the mouth and sigh it out. Place the palms down on the mat. Let's take a step back to high plank pose and pause here. Press the mat away from you, bringing some space between the shoulder blades, and look straight down at your mat so your neck stays nice and long. Press the mat away, thighs are active, core is strong. One more breath in here, and on the exhale, hips high, down dog, pause. We're going to move between those two poses. Inhale, glide yourself back out, return high plank, and exhale, hips high, down dog. Let's take 3 more of those. Work with your breath in, breath out. 2 more. Last one. Pause in this next down dog. Take about a half step in and some more movements. Pedaling, swaying, rocking, shifting the body weight around. Noticing how it feels in the backs of the legs, the feet, the shoulders, the neck. And then take at least a breath or 2 in stillness. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend knees, look forward. Inhale, feet to hands, walk, step, hop, folding with the exhale. Rise up to standing. Allow the arms to draw a big circle. And then find Samasthiti. Hands to heart center and your big toe mounds are coming towards touch. Sun A, reach up, inhale. And dive down, exhale. Step back, plank pose. Exhale, take your low plank. Upward face, breath in. And downward dog, exhale. Couple more breaths in this downward facing dog. Inhale, lift heels. Exhale, bend knees, look forward. Hop, step, feet to hands on the breath in, and fold with your breath out. Inhale, return to standing. And exhale, hands heart. One more sun A. Inhale up. And exhale, fold. Alternate the foot you step back with so you stay symmetrical, and then take your low plank. Breath in, up dog, and breath out, downward facing dog. Allow the knees to lower to the mat. Untuck your toes, and we'll take it one step further down to the forearms. So there isn't going to be as much space as if you were on your hands and knees, and that's kind of the point. It's totally okay. So we'll stay here. Step your right leg behind you, lift it in the air. Try not to open that hip up. Keep all 5 toes facing down. You can stay here, or the left arm extends out in front of you for some crunches. If the forearm is down, you can still crunch with the leg. Breath in, lift the ends. Exhale, less room, but try to crunch under. Inhale, extend and lift. And exhale, crunch. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. And crunch. Inhale, extend, pause. Bend the right knee so foot is facing the ceiling. Left arm can reach out like a wing or behind you. It may even be able to high five that back heel or foot. Press up with the foot as opposed to pulling the leg in towards you. And then re-extend. Let's bring the left hand down. Right toes drop to the back of the mat, and your right hand is grounded now as well. Taking this left knee in towards the chest, kick your left leg in the air, 3-legged dog. So just double check that you've got your left leg lifted. And now let's stack the hip. Bend into that left knee. You can draw some circles with the knee. Move around in the ankle, the toes. Straighten leg, look forward, and step left foot to the top of the mat. Scooch the right toes back, find a very long stance, and then take it all the way up, high lunge. Rest the shoulders down the back. Allow the right hip to press forward so it's in line with your left one. And now take this right hand to the upper back so the elbow presses up. Left hand can take a hold of that elbow, draw in, but press the head into the arms. Inhale, standing tall. Exhale, take a side lean over to the left. Again, mindfully pressing right hip forward so it's not lagging behind. Inhale, center, extend the arms. Lean slightly forward and then take it down. Left foot steps back, high plank pose. Exhale, low plank. Upward face, breath in, and downward dog. Exhale. For this next piece, we're coming into warrior one. So try to step the feet an inch or 2 closer to the hands, and then bring the heels towards touch, and the toes are angled out. So you're making a V shape with the feet. If the heels are popped up, that's fine. Left leg lifts into the air. Now angle those toes down, straight down, so you get a nice stretch along the outside of your right leg. And then for a moment, bend into that left knee, press the foot to the ceiling, and lift your gaze. Straighten that leg, look forward, and step left foot. So try to keep that half V shape with that back foot for your warrior one stance. Left foot can walk a little wider. Hands come up to your hips. I personally think there's a lot that goes on in warrior one, so that's why I'm taking the time to set it up. Draw that right hip forward. You can pull the left one back. Both feet solidly grounded and a bend into that front knee. Then you extend the arms up overhead. Basket the hands behind your head. Press the elbows back. Keep lunging into that front knee, but lift the chest. Dive up and back, spinal extension. Inhale, center. All of your core allows you to now twist left. Right elbow likes to swing with you. Try to press that right elbow behind you. Center. Keep the arms, but now we hover forward. Now you press the elbows all the way up to the ceiling. Keep drawing right hip forward. Extend the arms, rise up, and now let's find warrior two. So now the toes open a bit. The stance likely gets a little longer, and now let's straighten that left leg, cut off of that big quad. Arms go wide, flip front palm up, reach up and back to reverse your triangle. That right hand, if it's on the back leg, it's really light. It really doesn't have a job back there. If you don't need it, it wraps around your low back, reaching for the opposite hip. Come back to two straight arms wide, hands to hips. Left toes are now going to angle in, so you've got parallel feet, toes in, heels out. And now kick the heels in. So we're going to find your goddess legs. Bend into the knees, a distance that you feel you can hold without moving around anywhere. Toes are pretty light, weight is in the heels. Hands are going to come to the tops of the thighs, and then just allow them to guide their way down. Hands are fully supporting you here. Elbows can be straight. Gaze down. Drop your right shoulder now, and you'll look towards the front of the mat. That left elbow might be able to bend a little bit to get further into the twist. And then back to center. And drop your left shoulder now, so that right elbow may bend a little more. And then with the breath, inhale, center. Exhale. Inhale, center. And exhale, back. Let's go one more each side. In and out. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, center. Keep the legs as they are, but walk yourself tall again. Palms can find heart center. And then goddess. So cactusing the arms at 90 degrees. Press the arms open behind you. And maybe sink the hips a little deeper. Inhale, straighten everything up. And exhale, hands find center. Right toes are going to reface right out in front of you. And the left toes forward. So we're setting up for triangle pose. Arms wide. Right hip kicks back, left arm forward. Notice I'm still pretty flat here. I haven't leaned into the triangle. Extend your arms up and down. Inhale takes you up. Rebend front knee and spin the palms down. Left foot steps back, high plank pose. Exhale to take your low plank. Upward facing dog, press forward, and downward dog, hips high. Inhale, lift heels. Exhale, bend knees, look forward. Inhale, hop or step, top of mat, and then fold with your exhale. Inhale, right back up to stand. And exhale, hands heart center. Variation on dancer pose with some dynamic work. Hands at the hips, top of your left foot behind you. Right arm up, and then half basket it behind your head. Left hand is guiding left hip forward. Take a slight lean in, come off of that back foot to find balance. We're going to do 3 taps here. So on your exhale, working towards that elbow approaching the knee, and then inhale to re-extend. So 2 more. Exhale, and inhale. Exhale, and inhale. Come Come back to center on the exhale, hands and toes to touch, and you can also circle out that right ankle. Now land the top of your right foot behind you, and if you don't have your blocks nearby, blocks at the top of your mat for warrior 3. Take your lean forward, come off of that right foot, this time flex the ankle, and as you lower the torso, that heel is going to rise. If you need a supported warrior 3, here's where your blocks on any height can come right underneath your shoulders. And then let's touch the fingertips down all the way to the mat. Step your right foot all the way to the back of the mat. Hands come down flat, and now let's once again lift that left leg into the air, three-legged dog, and step it forward to your low lunge. Drop that right knee down to the mat. Those right toes can untuck. You're going to keep those hips nice and low and forward, and walk the hands up to that front thigh. So what you're working on here is peeling the chest away from the thigh without taking the hips up with you to get really tall here. So you want to stay tall and lifted, but low in the hips. If this is working for you, and you can go further, arms wide, basket behind the low back. Basket meaning just a nice interlace. Send the knuckles down and lift your chest towards the ceiling. Back to center. Hands will walk inside that left foot. Now left foot can heel toe wider. You can stay on your palms, or you can use those blocks to come to forearms and take it one step lower. Now some of you might not need blocks at all, and you may come all the way down to the mat. Try to do your best to draw that left knee against your left shoulder so that you're finding some outer hip strength. Return up to your palms. The blocks can shift out of the way. Tuck your back toes under. Lift that right knee. And left foot is picking up to step back, high plank pose. High plank to low plank. Exhale. Upward face, breath in. And downward facing dog. Exhale. All right, this next pose is a shout out to my good friend Sarah W. Left leg rises into the air, three-legged dog. Stack the hip, bend, roll open, and let's come onto tented left fingertips. Try to really spin yourself open to the left. If you'd like to, we're going to flip the dog here. With control, get even lighter on those left fingertips. For a moment, you might have only right hand and right foot on the mat. As that left foot lands to the opposite side of the mat, left arm up, hips are high, and all 10 toes facing forward if you can manage. Keep pressing the hips, reaching that left arm back, and now we're going to unflip the dog. So face down again, return left hand, lift left leg in the air, and come through to what I'm going to call kickstand pose. So drop that left knee and shin all the way to the mat down in front of you. We're going to build towards your pigeon pose. So left knee can definitely stay stacked with the ankle underneath the glute. This is if you've got any knee sensitivities, you can definitely stay here. Otherwise, that left knee can angle a little wider, and now the heel can approach that opposite hip. I like to keep a nice closed knee joint here. Left toes, or back toes rather, untucked to keep the knee more safe. And we're going to keep active for the first few breaths. So you can stay here or work yourself to blocks to get a little bit taller. Hands could also find hips. We're working on once more swinging that right hip forward. And some of you might be able to reach the arms up overhead. finding your steeple mudra, and everyone's legs are pressing down to try find a little more length in the spine up and back. Let's take it forward nice and slowly, carefully, hands to the mat, blocks can shift out of the way. You may be able to scooch that right leg even longer behind you now, and you can rest into your lazy pigeon pose. So if you've got knee sensitivity, staying a little higher on the forearms or on a block is probably going to be best for you, because we are putting quite a lot of weight and pressure on that left leg. If it's completely fine and you're super familiar with the pose, the arms could reach out in front of you, bringing the forehead all the way down to the mat. Just notice if one hip is leaning one way or the other. Usually that left hip likes to sink further down. Try not to let it. Walk your way back up to your hands. So we're going to transition here by letting the left hip fall all the way down to the mat. Right leg is going to sweep itself forward and then across that left leg. So this is your half Lord of the Fishes pose. If that right hip is not evenly grounded, then straighten that bottom leg out. Let's place the right hand behind, left arm up overhead. Let's wrap around that knee, give a nice squeeze in, and take a twist to the right. Inhale takes you forward again. We're going to offer a counter twist, but with some core work. So let's straighten that right leg, give the knees a shake, and if that bottom leg isn't straight, you can straighten that as well. Take a hold of one of your blocks or whatever you are using as your block. Bend into the knees, plant the feet and the block on usually the thinnest setting right between the legs. And notice how when you squeeze in, you're going to activate the entire quadricep muscle, the inner thighs, and the outer hips. So squeeze that block in, hands will find heart center, and take a little lean back to come into a variation of boat pose. So in boat pose, you always want to think of squeezing those knees in, and now you kind of have no choice but to do that. So we're going to find some dynamic work. Breath in here, and then take your twist to the left. Inhale, come back to center, and now exhale, let's go right. Inhale, center, pause, and then we're going to sink the boat, stretch the arms up, but now come right back up, boat pose. One more each side. Inhale, center, exhale, twist left. Inhale, center, exhale, twist right. Inhale, center, exhale, sink. Inhale, back up, and one more twist left. Hold here, try to lift those heels to the height of the knees. And then center, drop down, release the block, straighten the legs, and give the knees a shake. And then let's take a roll forward. Palms to the mat, knees to the mat, knees a little wider, sink the hips to find a child's pose. Forehead to the mat, arms can reach forward or down by your side. If the mat is very far away, the forehead can also come onto a block. Good. Come to those forearms and draw the knees directly underneath the hips. So we're going to come to that opening crunching sequence. Starting off, let's have that left leg lifted behind you. And if you took full balance, the right arm reaches out as if you're shaking someone's hand. Inhale to lift the ends and exhale to crunch under. Inhale, extending, and exhale, crunch. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and last crunch. All right, inhale, lengthen, hand of the right hand down, drop the left toes at the back of the mat, and then now place that left hand on the mat. Right foot is lifted all the way up into the air now, three-legged dog. And on this three-legged dog, you can stack that hip, bend the knee, and take any of those motions you found on the first side. Getting into your hip, wiggling the toes. Look forward, and now step, right foot, top of mat. Keeping that left heel lifted for your high lunge. Right knee is bent over the ankle. You're coming all the way up. Reach the arms. Relax your shoulders. Left hand mid-back. Right hand cups that left elbow to bring it into center. Most importantly, lift the chin here. Press the head back. And then an exhale, lean over to the right. Inhale, center. Arms up overhead. A slow lean forward takes you down. Right foot back, plank pose, inhale. Low plank, exhale. Upward face, inhale. And downward dog, exhale. So if any of you happen to be watching that actual sequence of the vinyasa and you see that sometimes we are putting our knees down to the mat, that's just a variation of the vinyasa, and you can learn any modifications and variations of the vinyasa in my vinyasa tutorial. All right, step the feet a little closer towards the hands, just a tiny step, and make that V shape with the feet again. Toes out, heels don't have to be down, but hands are actively pressing you back. Right leg rises, so you've got a variation of a three-legged dog. Right toes angle down, get that stretch on outside of left leg. Now bend right knee, foot to the ceiling, bigger stretch, gaze forward. And now step forward, right foot by your right thumb, left foot, set it up in that half V shape if you lost it. Walk hands up to hips. Right knee stays bent. Outer edge of that back foot grounded down. Left hip forward. Arms sweep. We're going to keep the warrior one legs, but basket hands behind the head. Press the elbows wide and then lift the chest up and find extension of the spine as you exhale. Center on the inhale, twist right, exhale. Left elbow opens behind you. Inhale, center, lean forward. Elbows press up. Extend the arms, rise back up. Quick warrior two just to get the stance, arms wide. Now straighten that right knee, give it a rest. Right palm up, reach up and back to reverse your triangle pose. Left hand really light on that left leg, otherwise it's wrapping around low back. And come back to center, hands to hips, and now your right toes angle in. So you've got all 10 toes in, heels kicking out. Now, heels in. So we're setting up for that goddess alignment again. Bend into the knees. Hands are going to find heart center now. Let the toes be pretty light. Let the weight rest in the heels. And we'll find some dynamic movement. So inhale, straighten the legs and reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, bend knees, hands heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up, and exhale, lower. Big circle, inhale, and exhale. One more, inhale, and exhale, pause. Option to go further, lift that right heel off of the mat. And lower it down to lift your left heel off of the mat. Lower it down and both heels rise, maybe sinking the hips even more. Land the heels, straighten the legs, big reach up, and a nice releasing exhale. Left toes face straight out in front of you, so towards the left side of the mat, and then the right toes reface to the front of the mat. Arms go nice and wide again, triangle pose. Left hip back, right arm forward, and then just a windmill of the arms up. Resist folding inward towards the center of your mat. Inhale up, bend that front knee, and windmill down. Right foot stepping plank, exhale, low plank. Upward face, inhale, and downward face, exhale. Lift the heels, bend the knees, look forward, hop or step. On the inhale, fold with the exhale. Rise up, Urdhva-stasana, and exhale, Samastiti. All right, let's take those dancer crunches, this time on the other side. So you can rest the hands at the hips and place the top of your right foot behind you. So you'll have the blocks out in front of you as the next pose will be your warrior three. Left arm up, find the half basket. You're pressing the elbow back behind you. Right hand draws right hip forward. Lean so that you're coming off that back foot. This is your inhale, and then exhale. Let's find that crunch. Twice more, nice and controlled. Take it slow, and exhale. Last one, in, and exhale. Inhale, extend, and then exhale, center, and land everything down. Top of your left foot now behind you. Hands can stay as they are. Warrior three, come off of that back leg, but flex the ankle. As you lift the heel, you lower the torso. So you want to think of a capital T shape with the body, but you could definitely be a little more diagonal. If you'd like those blocks for support, you can come to your supported warrior three. And then let's all bring hands to blocks or mat. Left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Hands down. Right foot now lifts into the air, three-legged dog. Look forward and step right foot top of the mat. Low lunge. Left knee drops down and you'll untuck those back toes. So again, keep the hips as low as you can get them, and then you'll peel yourself away from the floor. So as Al is doing, he's using his blocks to lift the chest away from his thigh so that he can still keep the depth in his lunge. If you've got further, arms go wide and you can interlace at the low back, drawing those knuckles down, lifting the chest, but lunging the hips forward. Back to center. Hands will come inside the foot. Foot can go a little wider. Lizard lunge, so match what you found on first side. Palms you can stay. Elbows can go a little lower on the blocks, or possibly all the way down to forearms on the mat. Right knee likes to splay open, which is a different stretch. It's not bad, but today I'd like you to draw that right leg in to build this right outer hip strength. Make your way back to hands. The back toes will tuck under, lift that knee. Blocks can step out of the way. And now let's have right foot pick up and step back, high plank. High plank on the inhale turns into low plank on the exhale. Breath in, upward dog, and breath out, downward facing dog. Right leg rises, three-legged dog. Here's where we'll prep towards the flipping of the dog. So right hip stacks. You can bend that knee and now tent onto right fingertips. So you have nice big opening on the right side. Take this as controlled as you can. The left toes are eventually going to spin around and face forward as well. Right hand gets lighter, the feet land down, 10 toes face forward. Lift those hips and reach the right arm back. Unflip the dog. Right hand down, right leg in the air, into that pigeon / kickstand. Draw that right shin all the way down in front of you. Untuck those back toes, and we're going to take the same shape as first side, either staying with this thunderbolt alignment or opening the angle of the hip a little more. Untuck those back toes, and let's see if we can climb a little taller. You can find blocks here, hands to hips, trying to get left hip forward so it's in line with right. If you took your steeple mudra, arms reach up. And everyone will press your legs down to find some lift from the hips away from the mat. And then we take it lower. Hands back down, stretch that left leg a little longer, and take your resting pigeon pose. Just careful, if you're walking out further, make sure you're not feeling anything within that right knee. And also notice if you're sinking all the way to the right, make the hips as even as you can. Return your way back to your hands. Blocks can set out of the way. Drop onto your right hip. Swing left leg all the way around to the right side of the mat. Now if that left hip is hiked up, straighten your right leg out and we'll find the twist. Ardha Matsyendrasana. Left hand back, right arm up. Wrap around that knee to avoid any unnecessary deep twisting and then twist to your left. Reface forward. Give both legs a releasing bounce forward, and then take a hold of that block again that you used for those really awesome boat twists. Plant the feet on the mat, slide that block in between. So you're going to be using so much more of your legs and your low abs using this block than if we weren't using the block. You can thank Lauren for this one. Hands to heart center, a little lean back, and find your boat pose. Now, of course, you can stay here, but if you're with me for the dynamic work, let's take a breath in, and then exhale, twist right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Try to straighten arms and legs. Crunch back in. One more round. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, lower. Inhale, crunch. Exhale, left. Try to hold for 3, 2, 1. Center tap down, release that block. Straighten the legs. Bring the toe mounds towards touch, open through the heels, active feet, sit tall, inhale, and take a forward fold, exhale, Paschimottanasana. A few pointers for your forward fold. Listen to your back here. You shouldn't be rounding and hunching and allowing the shoulders to fall in towards the ears. You should be finding some space, some length along the whole spine. Press those heels forward. Get a nice stretch underneath your hamstrings. And your gaze is going to be down. Inhale, find a little length, and release on the exhale. Let's take our very final vinyasa. You can loosen the knees, take a roll forward, hop or step back into your plank or low plank, and then let's move through final upward and final downward facing dog. Pedal it out, shake it around. Notice how this downward facing dog may feel different from the very first one of class. Look forward, come to sit. A light landing onto your back. Give the knees a squeeze in, a rock on the spine. And close the eyes. Let the knees fall over towards the right side of the mat. The arms can open wide. Your gaze can fall towards the left. Come back to center and switch. Knees left, arms wide, gaze right. Back to center. Happy baby. Taking a hold of the feet or behind the thighs, drawing the legs down. You can take a rock side to side. And close the eyes. Take some deep breaths. Trace the breath with every inhale and exhale. Notice the parts of the body that are making contact with the mat, with each other, with the air. Give yourself another final squeeze in with one of your deepest inhales and deepest exhales. You can stay here on your mat, finding a few moments of rest in your Shavasana. I'd like to prescribe you this Shavasana. Everybody is going to benefit from taking some slow, deep breaths in, deep breaths out, letting the body be still, allowing the mind to calm and relax. So if you have a few moments, 3 to 5 minutes, do yourself a favor and get this rest. And at the very end of class, I will be putting my Venmo and PayPal information up. I'm simply asking for a small donation from you, a few dollars if you've got it, to help me in this rough time. I'm currently unemployed, but still wanting to provide quality yoga classes for everybody out there. So if you're able to, and even if you're not able to, thank you so much for joining this class today. Continue to subscribe if you have not yet. Give me likes, thumbs up, comments, what you'd like to continue seeing. And most of all, let's bring our hands to heart center. Take a breath in, take a breath out, and namaste to you.